Tonight, I'll be sharing like 3 different topics and then also about Catherine Woods that just like have coverage by Diary of a CEO. Welcome again, everyone, for joining us on Well Pulse. Well Pulse is a weekly live sessions that we share with you what happened in the market. And then this is the first part of the session, and the second part of portion will be we'll talk a little bit more in detail stuff, whereby we might talk a bit of sensitivity stuff or things like we need some context to discuss, right? So that's why the second part will be just for our close community that have went through the so-called training or some like alignment on what the things that we share, especially the way that you invest and the way that we talk about investment, right? So if you like to know about that, you can subscribe. Later on, I'll show you how to subscribe. All right. So without further ado, let's go to the slides for tonight. I'll be sharing like 3 different topics. And then later on, we'll cover about the interview by Darren CEO, William Bartlett, that talk about details of AIKK funds. At first, I don't quite want to spend time on it because I thought, it's just another Catherine Wood sharing. But one of the reasons I don't want to spend time on it is because like AIKK has not been doing well if you have been following the fund. But that's just time frame problem, I would say. That's just time frame problem. If we look at the past 1 year, actually their result is a bit different. Okay, I'll be showing you in a short while. Okay, the topics that we have covered since the beginning of the year. We talk about NVIDIA, we talk about TSMC. Later on, we also be talking about TSMC and NVIDIA because it's part of sharing by Katie Woods. We also talk about this DOCX, the docs, and then we also talk about this like Texas Pacific Land, Lululemon. So there's a lot of companies that we covered in a sense that to share what is the latest update of the company, especially when there's earnings period, we will talk about earnings. All right. And the last few weeks, the last 2 weeks is by Jia Xuan. You talk about the WWDC, you talk about Circuit IPO, we also talk about CrowdStrike. Right. So let's round up of what of the updates for this week. So just sharing to the listener or through the YouTube, I've not been looking at the market for past 1 week because I was traveling in Japan, in Hokkaido, all right? But one of the things that shocked me is like there's so much happening in the past 1 week. So much. I never read news, I never go to socials, never go to medias. I don't know what happened in the world until I came back and preparing for Well Pulse. It's like things has happened so much that it also ended. So I'll do some sharing on what's have started and ended. I think most of you will have known. This is the latest news. There's 7 B-2 bomber jet fly into Iran and then like bomb their so-called nuclear facilities lah. So it just happened over the weekend. It's like, wow, what happened? What happened there? Is it a war happening? This is the first news that I came about. Is it war started there? I thought it's Israel and also Gaza. I didn't know Iran is in the picture before I left for my traveling. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Why Iran suddenly came into the picture, right? Yeah, agreed. When you want to make the market fly, so yeah, I don't know. And when war happened, usually it's oil price rise, but the stock market went down. But it looks like it's not what the conventional happening in the market. All right. And so much so that there's some retaliation because like when there's war, there's some like tactic strategies that happening around, right? So Iran, who have the so-called controlling of the Strait of Hormuz. Strait of Hormuz is very crucial so-called straits that control 20% of oil. All right. So Iran is also talking about so-called blocking the Strait of Hormuz. So you affect 20% of the oil production and would spike the oil, spike oil price like in a sense. I heard of this, right? This is the first time I heard about Strait of Hormuz. This is also new to me. I invested in the market for quite some time. I study a bit, I not say very expert lah, studied about the Suez Canal, which is also close to the like Middle East region, but not so much about Straits of like Hamas. I know there's Gulf War, whatever, but I never heard of Straits of Hamas. Yeah, I didn't know Doha also involved. Like what happened? Later I'll share you a video where like the people in Doha are so shocked. People who are shopping in the Doha Mall when they heard of this news, right? They just flee. Yeah. One of the good thing that staying at like Malaysia, Singapore region right now, we don't need to face all this tension. Yeah, so I'm really grateful that I'm living right here, relatively safer. Yeah, and then like also without natural disaster. Right, so thanks you guys for interacting with me. Although there's just 23 of you, I hope this number will grow up, and I want this number to grow up. So if you feel that whatever I'm sharing is useful, just let me know. Just type in the comment, whatever. If you feel that you want to know more, just type in whatever that you like to learn more. All right. So these are the things that I found. So when I heard of Strait of Hormuz, I said, what? How does it differ from Strait of Hormuz and Suez Canal? That's why I just use ChatGPT to go for it. But so Suez Canal is the canal that is man-made that can cut off a bulk of amount of time for the stuff to ship from Europe to Asia. So this is a canal that cut through the so-called Africa so that the Europe and Asia can so-called transact more in a shorter time, like in a sense. In shipping time, it's shorter. So it's more of like goods or container ships. All right. So Strait of Hormuz is just oil and gas, and in fact, 20% of oil and gas come from this strait. All right. And with that tension, that's why oil price shot up, all right? Just like the Gulf War, where Iran, Iraq, they have some war happening, whatever, right? Syria, Jordan, it's always related to oil. Yeah, yeah. So this is the thing, and then yeah. So when this strait of like so-called Hamas affected. Generally, the oil price, there's two oil price. One is crude oil, one is WTI Brent oil. So these two oil would like so-called go up and down in tandem. All right. So when this happened, crude oil get affected, and the oil price went up. The oil price went up. Yeah. And when oil price went up, then the question is who would purchase oil from Iran or this region, right? So I watched this video somewhere. So US, they have their own oil production. They have their own so-called underground oil. They have Canada. They have not Canada. They have Alaska. They have like a lot of oil so-called storage or oil production right there. All right. So in these regions, who are the one that consume and buy from them? So there's these two different regions, China and Europe. Right? China and Europe. So China is very unique in the sense that they don't just buy from this region. They also buy a lot from Russia. All right. So there are even pipeline that connect from Russia. So in actual fact, China can just go Russia in that sense. So who are the party that being affected or heavily affected by this oil price skyrocket? What I learned from that video is Europe. All right. Why? Because Europe got to buy from them. When if that being blocked, right, price get affected, supply is also issue. So even if they just pay high price, right? If there's no oil being shipped from that area, right, they need to find another source. So Europe need to go to US for oil. All right. So it's a simple like some bombing here and there that affected Iran, but in actual fact, at the back, a lot of other countries being affected, and I believe Europe is one of the countries or one of regions that heavily affected by this action. All right. So some say conspiracy theory, whatever, but this is what I learned from that video. Okay. Luckily, right now is summer period, summertime, they don't need as much gas. Imagine this is winter period. People would be cold to death, lah. I would say that. Okay. All right. So this is Strait of Hormuz, Suez Canal. All right? And I thought that I want to study a bit more in terms of the tensions, what happened, what would be affected, and suddenly this thing happened.
No reports of any impact, any casualties, or anything.
All right. So this happened in Qatar, in Doha. All right. I cannot say I never been. I've been to Doha for transit, but I never been to the mall or whatever. I've been to Doha for transits. So if I were there, I would be scared to death because I never met this kind of situation before. Yeah. So really grateful that this doesn't happen to me. Touch wood. Yeah. So this is how bad the world is when war happens lah. So I think no one would like this to happen, but it happened. So what happened is Israel go bomb like Iran. and Iran would like to retaliate. So when Iran retaliate, so they bomb some of the so-called US facility in Qatar. So this caused the scare right there. All right. And what makes me more sad when I watch this video? All right. So this video is being taken at Lebanon, a region near Qatar, but it's far away from the war region. But they still can see missiles flying across their sky. And these people, they cannot do anything but just continue living their life. They not enjoy poker. It's like, wow, any missile that come down, I cannot do anything. I just have to live in the moment, live my life, and I really carry on my life in my way. Yeah, so these things that, well, when I read this, right, I get so affected in the sense that I really don't want this to happen to me, lah. Yeah, and my family, or even us, or if in the world. Yeah. So when I start watching this, there's a lot more video feed to me that's all about all this war. Then I got to stop watching this video and then like find to understand what really the key thing or key elements that affect my investment. So I read like 6 questions investors should be asking as US strike Iran of the B2 jet. It isn't just the Strait of Hamas, oil trader and government, the way Iran respond to US strike. Yeah. When I want to spend time, read all this, and suddenly this came. Yeah. Suddenly this came. Trump said there's a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Iran. And when this news come out, the oil price just went back to $66 from the hype of 77. If you think this is quite waste of time, just type in a 1. I mean, for me lah. It's like, I go learn, I go read, and suddenly, ceasefire, nothing happened. You know what the comment like in judgment video last week, right? It's like they type in waste of time. I didn't go and find out what's the context of he sharing waste of time, but I really felt that after I read all this news, it's kind of waste of time. Then it boom for what? I cannot answer because I'm not a politician. I'm not a strategist. I didn't study like the world politics at in depth and stuff like that. Yeah. So if you follow, actually, there's this link here, and you can go find out like every single minute and hours what happened. Like Israel, like when Trump announced the cease agreement, right? Actually, Iran said that they didn't receive, or Israel still like fight back. Hey, Iran didn't stop their ceasefire, so that there's some fight in between. Even though the ceasefire agreement that say so-called being like attained. Yeah. So. Yeah, so this is what happened. But seems like right now it's back to peace in the sense that Israel and Iran is like back in peace. Don't you think these few months so many drama going on? Exactly. But I think this one is more specific in the sense that there's really bombing happened from the US. It's a long time you heard like US go at other region and bomb some other people, but this like for the longest time, suddenly they just fly B2 jet, go to Iran and just bomb. Yeah. All right. So what did I learn from this so-called incident? Come back to this thing again. It's not to say that you like war to happen, just that for a lot of war that happens since like the Korean War, the World War II, the Gulf War, every time it happens, 10 years later, the market recover. Because of what? Because of humanity, because of technology advancement, because of humans creating value for people to grow or to live better. So every single time when there's war happen, the market will return. All right. So doesn't happen. But what if war really happen that affect the stock market in 10 years time? It will still return or you still recover. So best thing, we are not affected, our life or family is not affected. Second thing is our portfolio could still continue to grow. So my conclusion is this: war should not happen. Even if war had happened, for us, keep calm and just stay invested. Stay invested in companies that have strong fundamental. Stay invested in companies that you believe and you study in, and also stay invested in long term to grow your portfolio sustainably. All right. So no point going to like tick and tack moves like that what I've been talking about, like a rinse and repeat move at times like this. So just go on to build your portfolio with fundamental sound company. Just like what happened in the past week, nothing happened. If I didn't read the news at all for the past 1 week, right, it's like nothing happened. Right, so this is the first news that I'd like to share with you guys, which is the Israel and Iran war. So let's come back to the things that we have always advocate. How can we stay invested or how can we stay calm? Is really strategize your portfolio in terms of like your protections, your defense, your attack, or even some lottery funds that you like to go into, like meme stock or some Circle IPO. I don't know. I think Hui Kwang, right? Yeah, so he did some trade on Circle lah. Yeah, but I did nothing. Yeah. Yeah, so if you gain, good news. If you didn't, as long as it's just lottery bucket, it's fine. Yeah. Yeah. So Hui Kong not fear. Yeah. So for those who have get some opportunity in this last week, very good. But in our long-term portfolio wise, please make sure that you have all these protection, defense, attack, lottery in place so that you know which bucket serve what purpose. All right. So for those who are new or just watching on YouTube live, or just if you share to your friends or whatever the YouTube live, please do so. Yep. So if you guys are tuning in through Zoom, right? I would really like you guys I let ask a favor for you guys. Share this YouTube live to your friends, whatever that want to listen to what you have been listening to, and maybe if they have been thinking what to do in investment, but not sure what to do yet. Maybe this is the habit that they can form first to really understand the market, to really understand what is happening in market, how to deal with investment, how to deal with market, and to protect their portfolio. So these are things that I would like you guys to share and ask this favor. Of course, in the end of the day, we like to grow this community. So the more people that we can touch, I hope we can create more value and then let more people grow their portfolio as well. Right. So you also can share this like QR code to discover what type of investor you are. All right. Okay, next thing is this. Maybe I just ask, how many of you have been using Goodwill Buddy? If you're using, just type in one. If not been using, just type in two. So Goodwill Buddy is at this moment is so-called an expense tracking app that we built. That in the end of the day, our end goal is to help every single investor to build their own personal financial statement. Right, so may type 2, never used yet. So I'll urge everyone to use because I've been using. Obviously, I'm biased lah because we are building it. I'm biased. I want this to be good. I want this to be useful. I want this to help people, especially if they are having trouble in their budgeting, having trouble in their finances, having trouble in paying interest in their credit card. This is a very, very important tool. First, habit forming. Second, expense tracking. Third, if can, remove some unnecessary spending. With that, build their portfolio with the saving. Unable to record for income. Yes, at the moment, no. At the moment, no. We are building that while perfecting the expense tracking. So right now, if I just snap all my receipts in Japan, right? So it can tell me how much I spent in Japan, where did I spend in Japan, and then so every week there's a chart, right? So Sunday is my last day in Japan. There's a huge surge in spending. Guess what did I spend? The last day in Japan, there's huge surge in spending. Guess what did I spend? SGD or RM? In Japan, Japanese yen. Yeah. Yes. Last time is like, I'm not aware like I got what cash I just spent so that I can get enough gift for people I know, people are close to me. Yeah, sushi, RM50. Cool, cool. Not as much lah. I just spend that much lah. Oh, okay. Just the context lah. I just spent like 200 each lah, 200 each, just to buy gift to my Jun Xian, Jia Xuan, our team, some of our key client, key partner. What card you use in Japan? I use Tiger card. I use Tiger card. It's just wise conversion rate lah, Tiger card. If you guys use Revolut, Utrip, or even some of the American Express card, whatever, yeah, by all means, I didn't study much about the perfect card strategy lah. So for me, I just use Tiger card just for ease conversion. I can track my expense, I can record, right? So with all the habit that form, right, I can really track how much I spend there, and then I know I spend quite a bit on sake. Yep. So every day I have a bottle of sake there. Why? A bottle of sake there is just like a 600 or 700 ml, right? Guess compared Singapore and Japan, right? How much cheaper? How much cheaper? How much cheaper? 50%? Okay. All right. 607, I think 600, 700 ml, the big bottle. Yeah. Is at least one third. At least one third. In Singapore, if you want to get that volume, right, it's at least 30 or 30 each or $40 in Donkey, whatever. But in Japan, it's just $10. Not cup, bottle. $10 per bottle. So every single night, I will visit the Family Mart, Lawson, 7-Eleven. In Japan, there's Hot Chef, Seiko Mart, just to buy a bottle of sake. Yeah. So all this unaware spending that I spend right there, if I don't track, I don't know how much exactly that I spend. So in terms of sake, right, when I read all the receipt, right, actually I spend close to $120. Not too bad lah. $120 sake every night. But for budget purposes, right, actually this $120 can be saved one, right? You don't spend like compared to beer, which one tastes better? I can taste a lot of different beer right here, but I cannot taste sake in Japan. Sake in Singapore. And beer, the price difference is not as much. So in Japan, I drink sake. All right, so but come back to this. So if you have not been tracking or you like to understand further on your tracking your spending habit, right? This is a very good app. You can do by like taking photo. You can do by just keying a single liner, what you spend. And in the end of the day, you can see how much budget you remain this month lah. So for me, I bust my budget for this month. I set 2,000. The budget is bust for this month. All right. So all in all, I would like you guys to use this chatbot app, even if you have really very diligent spending, or even you are not interested in really nitty-gritty details of the expense that you've done, but I will request you guys to support us in using this expense tracking app. Yeah, I would like you guys to help us in reviewing things that you would like to track in your expense. So for example, previously they didn't build tracking in a sense that tell me how much I spend in Japan, or tell me how much I spend in my holiday trip. All right. So previously it's hard lah. If I convert like 500 or 1,000, I just spend everything. But in the end, I left with 100. So I don't know where I spend, how I spend, and stuff like that. So with this itself, right, I scan all the receipts. And with all the receipts, I can take note of my spending. All right. And then they will be building a function whereby I can turn on holiday mode, and then I can track my spending when I'm holiday. Yeah. So these are things that when I use, right, I like this to improve. Yeah. Matcha for kids, no matcha. All right. So if it's okay for using this app to support us, just type in a 1. Yeah, just support me. Yeah. And then today we met a guy His name is Raghu. He's from United Nations Global Compact. I met him through a sustainability talk. Not so much about the work that we did, because I'm really interested in this sustainable topic. I think after I have kids, right? The number one things that I have in mind is like, if I'm not in this world anymore, I also want this world to be continue to be beautiful, so my kids can live on, and also my grandchildren, whatever, if he has it, right? So the topic of sustainability keep coming since 2 3 years ago. And yep, I get to meet this person and talk about the SDG goal, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. And one of the things that we like to address is really equality. We want to address like no priorities. So these are things that we are passionate about and want to support people throughout the world. Yeah. So if you already have this like tracking, good. But yep, support us in that sense lah. Okay. Matcha bite one leh. Kids don't like one. Or bitter, is it matcha bitter? Just add sugar. Okay, yep. So this is the app. We have been like building in this like last year, and then it has been like developing very well. We are developing very diligently. So in also in a, like, so for example, you spend value dollar 15 and 12, right? 15, 20, right? You tell you, hey, what exactly the track record or the statistics tell us, like people spend there, what they spend and stuff like that. Okay. All right. So yeah, so there's this Telegram, there's WhatsApp. All right. So I think I've given you guys enough time to do this scanning lah. So anyone after I share this, you guys start it. Next, yeah. So this is the space that we are starting you doing YouTube. Yeah. Although the YouTube view is just like 100 and 200 each, we like to have this space for opportunities to do advertisement. Yeah. So if you guys have anything that you want to promote or to share, you can discuss. So this is a space whereby in our meet of the sharing, if you guys would like to share things that you do, brand that you have been building and stuff like that, contact us and then we can discuss more about this. So at this moment, I just show our own ads. So anyone would like to subscribe to our WellPulse is like 990 USD per month, 1390, 1340 for Sing dollars per month, right? And for this, you get a full recording of the full sessions, including the private session, and also some write-up or community gathering when we run. You just promote Tiger Podcast Law. Yeah, you know one thing about Tiger is this, all right? So Tiger have already conquered 1/3 of Singapore. So 1/3 of Singapore so-called like market have been conquered by Tiger. So for you guys, right, you already open an account. So most likely the accounts that you open back then is tagged with this our previous entity lah. I don't want to name it, our previous entity. So they couldn't just shift the entity to our account. Yeah. So as much as I say I've been doing all this talk and sharing, right? No point lah. If they want to change it over or whatever, right? There's a lot of administrative processes. I don't want to bother, right? So yeah, so this is the tough part about Tiger. Ask Tiger to launch Postcard to Malaysia. They don't want to expand to Malaysia, what to do? Okay, I think they are working on it lah. I think they are working on it. So if any brand you thought that some people like to share their brand right here, contact us. Yeah, you got my numbers. Yeah, so yeah, let me know. All right, so that's the first so-called first news and also some commercial time. So next, come to this. All right, so there's another two major news that come out this week as well. So first is WhatsApp wanting to introduce advertising in the WhatsApp chat, all right, just like Telegram. So there's some Telegram group that are active, right? You see ads right there. So WhatsApp wanting to roll these ads out, all right? And WhatsApp have much more power in data compared to Telegram because it's much more sharper. They have all the ecosystem of so-called your browsing histories. If you use the so-called Meta or you use Instagram, and then in WhatsApp, right, they have all your so-called activity and stuff like that. They can very sharp in pushing ads to you, all right, and especially for WhatsApp business, all right. Any alternative app can use. So one of it is Telegram, the other one is Discord. All right. So there's always avenue to shift, but I think WhatsApp is so ingrained in our life, it's hard for people to just switch easily lah. But also, if they didn't do it carefully, it might shift everyone out. So, but nevertheless, WhatsApp are doing this. All right. So when you are listening to this news, there's only a few things come to our mind. So first, if you are just a WhatsApp user, like just watching YouTube, look at ads, angry. Why in my midway of doing things, right, the ads pop up? So the good thing is WhatsApp is just a box, right? Not like YouTube. Just stop everything that you're working. So most likely the ads will not just block out everything. Yeah, most likely it's not that. But if it is, the advertiser will be much happy than not that pay a lot more money. But let's look at the reality. First, as a user, definitely we don't like it. But as an investor, would you like this new source of income? If you like this new source of income, just type in the one investor. I believe there's some meta investor within you guys lah. I think Kev is. I believe there's some meta investor within you guys. Only Kev like it. The rest don't like it. So you know who are the investor. So Chu Yan and me, yeah, investor, yeah, money, come, can charge money, then good thing. Oh, they want this one. Take money, be paise. It means like you just take money. There's no shame of making money. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So for investor, it's really a good news. But let's see how much can potentially make from here lah. I know the numbers, but let's get a number from the market and then see how does this number make sense to overall Meta business. All right. So Morgan Stanley say that WhatsApp ads could be worth 3 to 5 billion revenue. All right. Just remember the number 3 to 5 billion revenue per year lah. Just take it per year. 3 to 5 billion revenue, and maybe bull case 6 billion. All right, so we just take 3 to 6 billion, just ease of like remember number 3 to 6 billion by Morgan Stanley, right? And from this, like ISI Evercore analyst, Mark Mahaney say that it's like a 10 billion annual advertising revenue. All right, so with 3, 6, and 10, just remember 3, 6, and 10. So with 3 billion, 6 billion, 10 billion per year, how much the needle move in terms of like so-called meta revenue? This is the thing that we should ask, right? Hey, I make 3 billion more, 6 billion more, or even 10 billion more. What does it mean? All right. So if I make just like 1 billion, right? Like 3 billion, 5 billion, 10 billion, it's like almost 10 times my revenue. But what if I already make 1 trillion? What if I already make 1 trillion? This 310 is just like peanuts, lah, right? So these are the things that we like to find out. So if you understand what I meant, just type in one. If you understand what I meant, just type in one. Yep. So we have to understand how much could this impact Meta business or Meta overall revenue. So these are things that we have to find out. All right. So there's a lot of news out there. There's a lot of figures, numbers out there. We just have to make sense of the news, make sense of how much does it affect us, right? And with this, how much they affect us, then you understand, hey, that's how the share price movement, right? All right. So this actually the share price movement of the news is just 2-3%. Right? And let's look at the numbers instead. All right. So there's this breakdown of revenue. There's this advertising revenue, which is they put under family of ads revenue. So you just take this family of ads revenue and Reality Labs revenue. Reality Labs is just the AR goggles is it called AR or VR goggles? I think it's virtual reality VR goggles. Is it MetaQuest? Is it still called MetaQuest? The goggles, yeah, the AR VR thing. So they have been making 100 billions, 160 billion, or in total, close to the last 12 months, 170 billion per year. All right. Okay. Only one Q is better. Wait. Kev, wait first. So they have been making 170 billion per year. All right. They are making 100. We just take this 160 billion. So 160 billion per year, right? What is the percentage of 10 billion of this 160 billion? Calculate 10 divided by 160. It's 10 divided by 160. Additional. 16.4 is what? It's not 10%. It's not 10% of 160 billion. It's 10 billion divided by 160 billion. Okay. Yep. So it's just around 6.5%. All right. Okay. At this moment, according to estimates, it's just 6.5%. Right. So you will not see a huge spike on the revenue because it's not like suddenly I got this like new revenue stream that I can anyhow charge my user, right? Okay. Yeah, so it's estimate 10 billion revenue, but long-term wise, this number could grow. But at this moment, it will not be boom kind of thing. All right. So this is the thing whereby when we read the numbers, how we can make sense of it. Right. So it also translates into a share price movement. When this news is out, it's just up by 2+%. It's still a great news. It's still very good for what's so-called Meta, whereby actually for the longest time, we really know WhatsApp will sooner or later have advertisement. Actually, it came to our surprise. Is such late. I think they want the WhatsApp business to be in place before the ads come into play. Right. So I think they have developed long enough for WhatsApp business. Right now, they are building up the ads. All right. Okay, so this news number 2, Aaron just typed in 2. All right, so I real guys, this for Meta investor is a great news, it's a good news, but it's not a news whereby you boom your share price, huh? Okay, thank you, Hui Guang, thank you, Jocelyn, thank you, Ming Hui. All right, so right now we have 36 tuner right in. So I hope this number can grow. So I think beginning of the year there's 100-ish right now, and from 36. A lot of you are paying subscriber. I'd like to say thank you guys for subscribing and continue to support us. It means a lot to me, it means a lot to Jiaxun. I really like this to grow. I really like this to really continue to support you to understand what is the key news that we learn, and then it can really affect you. So if there's some news, there's some things that you'd like to learn, just text us, just let me know. Yeah. Or just have some discussion. I think Hui Kwang is very pro so-called like digital assets world. Very good. Yeah, so these are the things that I'd like you guys to share with me a lot more. Yep, but WeChat until now still free to use. Clement. I think Tencent WeChat might not as easy as WhatsApp Yeah, because it's the whole country using. If they have to charge advertisement, they need to go through the government. But they have other avenue to make. They can make revenue from business, but they shall not make revenue that affect users. Like WeChat users, normal users, it should not affect the end, but they can make money from business end. Okay. Yeah, so that's is what I mean. Okay, Clement. Yeah, I think we are in line. We're in line. WeChat Pay make a lot of money already. Yeah. Have business always want to make money. Yeah. So that's why sustainability is a big topic right now. Should business continue make money and milk money from there? Yeah. Cannot just make good money but it didn't do good to the world. They can develop what pay low. Yeah, exactly. All right. So the third news today, the third news today that I share is like the robo taxis have launched in Austin, Texas, and it attract a lot of content creators. Just like how Waymo, the Google rated Waymo. When they first started in California, a lot of people go take and experience what Waymo like. So robo taxis has been the longest talk. Even their cyber day or cyber launch day. I can't remember the exact term. They also have this robo so-called car that they go around the events right? So the first robo taxi ride or the first robo so-called launch or robo taxi launch is in Austin, Texas. All right, it's finally here. In Malaysia, I don't know, but this is in Austin. Just Austin. It's not whole US. Austin, Texas. All right, just let's go. All right. Yeah, exactly. That's what Kun Kun type. Your wife don't need you anymore. I just need a robotics. I just need a Tesla. All right. So moving forward, Tesla. The plan is this: when they launch this robot taxi, Tesla owner right now you can rent out your car. All right. That's why it's a big news. All right. Robot taxi is not just for the so-called taxi operator or uh for the user to take the car. It's more like your Tesla or is your car right now is not a liability, it's an asset for car owner. What do you think about it? Your car is no longer a liability, it's an asset to you. Yeah. So this is how big robotaxi is. It's not just your so-called your car, right? Or so-called Tesla, right? Tesla can run a so-called taxi operator, whatever. It's right now your car as a Tesla, you can run it as assets. Yeah, better than Lambo there. Yeah. Or if you like to run multiple like robo taxi, you can buy a few robo taxi and let it run. I don't know. This is what the speculation, this is what the talks about. Your Tesla can be an asset to generate income when you are not using it. Okay, all right. So this is the vision lah. But of course, practicality wise, I'm not so sure how it can set up in the sense that, for example, let's say your Tesla you let it run a robot taxi, whatever. You use their software, whatever. You let it pick up people, and you let it run. So right now you're at Texas, right? You let it run. Maybe in the afternoon you want to take the car, right? It might be at maybe Omaha or maybe California. All right. So I think that bound to be some system to work around it so that your car, like for example, you go to office 9 a.m. By 5 p.m. your car is ready to pick you up, kind of thing. Yeah. So 25K per robot taxi. Yeah. And you just need to subscribe for the service lah. Huh? Okay. Wow, so cheap, man. 25K per robot taxi. Is the car price, man, right? 25K is Tesla price, is it? In terms of US dollar lah. I'm not a car person. So yeah. Robotaxi. Okay. I'm not a car person, so I don't quite sure like how much they sell. Okay, so Hui Kwang say 25,000 per robotaxi. Okay. The new robotaxi car. 25,000. Wow. Okay, I think many of you can afford it, right? Must be a lot of hidden fee after. Yep. Okay. So likewise, when this news come out, right, I also like to make sense of how much of this would worth lah. So right now, the car is no longer a liability. People buy is not just for your home use. It's not like your BYD or whatever. You buy it for your home use. Right now, you buy it for an asset. Buy it not just for yourself to use. Buy it as a sharing vehicle. All right. Of course, it's bound to have a lot of problems, just like the sharing bike, right? The bicycle. All is like very cui one. I use the green color one as well. Any view. Wow, very cui one. There's not the sharing bikes that looks new to me. It's very bad. But they're bound to have some like the culture, the usage, some penalty of people damaging and stuff like they're bound to have some things that will happen. But let's say if the market did grow well, people do like robo taxis, people do believe in robo taxi, you buy a robo taxi, you let the robo taxi run, government support it, and how big is the market and how much Tesla can gain from it. So let me just go through some of the figures right here. Okay, all right. Yeah, so and the day itself, when the launch happened, like yesterday, the share price just moved up close to 9%. It's not a small amount for a great company like that. 9% just jump by this single news. 9%. All right, let's look at the figures. In actual fact, actually they are struggling in those car sales. All right, in the last so-called last 12 months or even December 24 when they report, right? Actually, their car automotive sales right went down and their total automotive revenue went down, right? So actually they have some struggles selling cars. Why? Because Like all the Chinese car manufacturing, like BRD is just trashing the market. And even like BRD have so much, they call it 过剩. It's like there's so much like inventory, they need to sell it out. That's why the car price compressed. That's why for Singapore, I think there's some good deals happening around. I even see their road shows in Plaza Sing. So anyone who like to look at the cars, touch the car, yeah, you can just go to Plaza Sing. There's some like the showcase right there. You can just like I think there's what ATTO, BRD sale, and there's this what huge gigantic one like van one. I don't know what's the brand name. Yeah, just go and check out lah. When there's oversupply, it's always good news for users. Yeah, but if you are just buying for home usage is fine, but you are buying a robo-taxi concept, I think is like BRD is not there yet lah, huh? This one maybe only one can survive in China. Yeah. But nevertheless, let's look at number lah. So automotive sales like 77 billion. What's good last year is like their energy generations and their service other revenues are so-called growing. So the numbers is still growing in terms of like last year compared to last year. Yeah. But compared to 22, the numbers went up. The numbers still growing up in a sense. Huh? All right. So I haven't have a chance to go find out what are the relevant numbers that I picked. But one of the things that I pick up from Katie Wood's podcast with Diary of CEO, which is Stephen Bartlett, right? I can't remember who mentioned this to me to watch or to listen to. Is it Hui Kong? Is it Hui Kong? You man? I think there's another one. If you, I definitely remember you. There's another. I think maybe there's one more. There's one more. Yeah, there's one. So yeah, Hui Kong brought it up again, brought it up, and then there's another person that say, "Hey, why not listen to it and share with us?" Okay, so let's look at this. So TT Wood estimates that the robo-taxi, autonomous taxi is a 8 to 10 trillion, 8 to 10 trillion next 5 to 10 years. All right, next 5 to 10 years. All right, so let's say I just divide by 10 years. So divide by 10 years is 1 trillion a year. Hi, what is this number? 1 trillion a year. So yeah, she's very visionary. So 1 trillion a year. Okay, I take discount, maybe just 10%. 100 billion. Let's say it's 100 billion a year. 100 billion a year kind of like market, right? If you think it's okay, just type in 10010 for 100 billion. All right. So 10 trillion divided by 10 years, 1 trillion. I take 10%, 100 billion. Just be conservative. So 100 billion a year kind of revenue size. Okay, 100 billion kind of revenue size. So there's different competitors. So for example, there's Waymo. There's like so-called more advanced than them because they've been in California running the show. Baidu. I can't remember Baidu. Baidu also have their own like self-driving one. What's the name again for Baidu? Baidu also have their autonomous driving. So let's say there's 5 player, right? 5 player in the market. 100 billion divided by 5, 20 billion. All right, so 20 billion a year. If you think these numbers sounds okay, just type in 20 billion a year, 20 billion a year. All right, 20 billion a year. All right. If you don't agree, just type in any number that you think. Either Tesla kill Uber or Lyft, maybe can make it. Yeah. Hey, no one want to participate the number with me, man. Just any number lah. Waymo cannot fight compared to robotaxi. Kev say, hey Kev, just give me a number. How much do you think it worth for what number you want? All right, okay, also can 5 billion. Thank you. Thank you, Kev. Hui Kong say 10 billion. Okay. So thanks for just it's just the logic thinking process lah. You might differ, you might disagree, but just work along the thinking process. So I estimate 20 billion. So if 20 billion, right? So right now they are making close to 100 billion. So 20 billion, 100 billion is 20% a year. 20% a year. Right? Okay. And if it's just 5, right? It's just 5%. So 100 billion, 5%. 100 billion, 10 billion is 10%. So I think it is a huge market. It's a huge thing. If robotaxis can continue to expand outwards from Austin, Texas. Yeah, I believe they can. I believe they can. Yeah. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Yeah. So that's why this explain the close to 10% growth. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because they neither move much more than the WhatsApp ads. So Robotaxi, the revenue can grow much more than WhatsApp ads. So this is how I make sense of the numbers. This is how I make sense of which news are bigger in the sense that affecting the business lah. All right. Okay, so this third piece of news that I gathered so far. So next is about what we kind of suggest me to listen to, which is the podcast by Catherine Woods lah. And when I heard of this, right, Catherine Wood prediction, this is the first question that come to my mind. Is it worth listening to what she said? Is it? So my first thought in mind is like, wow, listen to what she said again. Let's look at this. For the past 5 years, these are the things that are being brought up. Past 5 years, right? All right. So if you invested in ARKK, their so-called their innovation fund, it's an ETF, active managed ETF, ARKK fund. Right now, for past 5 years, you are back to square zero. But if you invested in SPY, right, you have almost doubled. If you have BRKA, right, you almost so-called tripled, 178%. All right. So this thing whereby when I look into it, right, oh yo, the result is so bad. Why I still listen to her if the track record of 5 years is like zero? I think it's worse than many of you. I think many of you will have better result, right? But let's look deeper into it. If I just look at 1 year time frame, right, actually the ARKK did far more better. It did like 60% within 1 year. Listen to her not equal to invest in the fund. All right, true. All right, okay, makes sense. Just listen to industry she mentioned. Very good. I will be talking about that. Right. So it's about time frame. Time frame. What are the time frame they are looking at? Short term wise, it make better than BRK, make better than SPY. But for us as a long-term investor, or we look in a company that have long-term growth potential, right? Look, if I look at a longer time frame, right? Like 2015, all right, 2015 to now, right? Close to 10 years, right? Actually, the result is not too bad. It's like in par with BRKA. So in the long term wise, some of the companies that did well, in fact, it matched BRKA. All right. It's not as bad if you look at the long-term time frame. Okay. Yeah. So that's why I give it a second thought. Why not I give myself a chance to listen again to what she said in the podcast with Diary of CEO, Stephen Bartlett. And actually, I respect Stephen Bartlett a lot in the way he interviewed, the way he shared his content. Yep. So yeah, why not I give it a try to listen to what she said again. So this is my thinking thought. All right. Okay, so if you like to watch it, it's on YouTube, it's on Spotify. You can go and listen to it. And I believe Hui Kong have gone through it. Everyone should appreciate her for transparency, not very easy to track a portfolio. All right. Okay, so it's close to 1 hour 40 minutes long interview. All right. Okay. So because in the session itself, he shared a lot about companies. He shared a lot of like a forward-looking statement, forward-looking view. So I would like this to be shared, my view to be shared within our private community. All right. So if you are interested in our Wealth Pulse, so you can just scan this QR code or just click on this link, click.guru.com/join-wealthpulse, or you can just get this like 1 month free access. So if you're on YouTube, you want to join us, just click on this. There's 1 month free access, and after 1 month, it'll be $10 per month. All right, $10 USD. All right, and if you like to stop it, you can stop it anytime. You can just click anywhere to stop it, or click in the app to stop it. All right, so that's all for the YouTube session, and then the second part will be a private session between our private community. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. So for those who just like tune in and watch the recording, or just watch the rewatch the YouTube live, by all means, you can just type in your comment and stuff below, right?